Hi, second grade. The first thing we're going to do today is we're going to learn some new phonograms. We learned the first 55 and then we spent last week reviewing. Hopefully you're feeling pretty confident with those. And so now we're going to keep moving and learn this week. We'll learn the next 17 and then we'll be finished. All right. So this is our next phonogram. This one says A. Class, what does this say? Good, A. And this one has 4 letters, so we call this one A, 4-letter A. What is this? Very good, A, 4-letter A. So watch first. So remember clock spaces and underlines for our multi-letter phonograms. And what we want to do is make sure that while we're writing it and saying the sound, we're saying the sound, A, 4-letter A. All right. And then instead of just writing it a whole bunch of times and then going back and underlining, I want to stop when I've written it once and underline. That helps me remember, oh, those 4 letters work together to say A. All right. So it is your turn. Get ready to write. What are you going to write? Very good. A, 4-letter A. And say it while you write it. All right, check and make sure it looks like mine. If it doesn't, fix it. All right, now we'll write it again. Say it while you write it. What are you writing? Good. A, 4-letter A. All right, leave a clock space one more time, write it, and say it while you write it. Excellent work. All right, class, this is our next new phonogram. This one has 2 sounds. This one says A, E. Say that with me, A, E. Good, now by yourself. Very good, A, E. All right, we call this one AE that we do use at the end of English words. What is this? Very good, AE that we do use at the end of English words. All right, to write our AE that we do use at the end of English words, we're going to leave a clock space. Our letters are close together. I'm saying the sounds as I write them. AE that we do use at the end of English words, and then we underline it. Right, clock spaces and underlining are, sometimes I'm missing that and it makes me sad. All right, so write your AE that we do use at the end of English words and say it while you write it. All right, very good. I'll say it with you this time. Make sure your sounds are right. AE that we do use at the end of English words. Good. And write it one more time. Say it while you write it. Good. AE that we do use at the end of English words. All right. Nice job, class. This one also has 2 sounds. This one also says AE. Say the 2 sounds of this with me. AE. Good. Now by yourself. Excellent. AE. But this is AE that we do not use at the end of English words. Class, what is this? Very good. AE that we do not use at the end of English words. And if I asked you why not, what would you say? Excellent. English words do not end with I. All right. So that's AE that we do not use at the end of English words. So we'll leave a clock space. Say it while we write it. AE that we do not use at the end of English words, and always underline right after you write those letters. Right. Otherwise, it doesn't help us make the connection if we go back and do it later. All right, what are you going to write, class? Very good. AE that we do use, that we do not use at the end of English words. All right, write it and say it while you write it. I should have covered it up. All right, so check and make sure yours looks like mine. All right, write it again. Say it while you write it. I'll say the sounds with you as well. A, E. Good. Right. Everyone seems to remember the do and do not use this one at the end of English words, but a lot of times students seem to have trouble with the sound. So I really want to make sure we have those sounds down, because the other part's easy. All right, write it one more time. Say it while you write it. All right, nice job, class. Our last phonogram for today is this one. This one says I. What does this say? Good, I. It has 3 letters, so we call this one I, 3-letter I. Class, what is this? Good, I, 3-letter I. All right, so make sure you're leaving a clock space. Our letters are close together. We're saying it while we write it. I, 3-letter I. And when I write the last letter, then I underline. All right, so get ready to write your I, 3-letter I, and say it while you write it. Make sure it looks like mine. All right, write it again. Say it while you write it. And one more time, what are you going to write? Very good. I, 3-letter I. Say it while you write it. All right, so over here, so we can look at it today and remember, I'm going to put my AEs. AE that we do use at the end of English words, and AE that we do not use at the end of English words. For those two make the same sounds, so if we remember the sounds of one, it'll help us with the sounds of the other one. All right, we'll take a couple minutes to review some of our older phonograms. All right, let's start with the of bird. What are you going to write? Excellent. Say it while you write it. All right, class, what did you just write? Good. The bird. That is that guy. All right, so if you didn't have that, I want you to write it 3 times and say it while you write it. Just go ahead and pause the video. I'll be right here when you're done. All right, the next one is say that with me. Good. What are you going to write? Excellent. All right, write it and say it while you write it. All right, class, this is our All right, if you didn't have that, pause the video, write it 3 times, say it while you write it. Please, please say it while you write it, otherwise it doesn't get stuck in your head, and we want these stuck in our heads. All right, the next one is a 2-letter A that we do not use at the end of English words. What are you going to write? Good, a 2-letter A that we do not use at the end of English words. All right, write it and say it while you write it. All right, this is our A 2-letter A that we do not use at the end of English words. So if you didn't have it, you know what to do. All right, next let's do U, U, U. What are you going to write? Good, U, U, U. All right, write it and say it while you write it. All right, this is our you, oo, or. If you didn't have that, you know what to do, and thank you for showing the virtue of integrity. All right, our last phonogram is ch, three-letter ch, used after a single vowel that says a, or a. What are you going to write? Good. Ch, three-letter ch, used after a single vowel that says a, or a. All right, write it and say it while you write it. All right, class, what did you just write? All right, good. Ch, three-letter ch, used after a single vowel that says a, or a. All right, nice work. So if you didn't have that, you know what to do.